Welcome back. So I've been away from social media for some time, and what I would like to tell you in this video is my rebirth, my story of getting better after major surgery, which was total hip replacement, and how little did I know they awakened something much stronger within. So my decision, I made a decision back in Bali that a year from now I want to have it done, because I don't want to live and walk like this. So you could see clearly that I am walking, limping, the legs, they kind of not coming together. It's kind of like a duck walk with the full-on diapers in between your legs. So a simple task as walking, for example, to a store or anywhere in the shopping mall, after 15 minutes I would have to sit down because I was in pain. I couldn't stretch out my right leg because the muscles, they were just contracted. Going to the surgery, I was excited. I was actually freaking excited. I was scared a little bit. That was in the back of my mind. The most important thing is how you prepare your mindset for it, what you actually think of it. I went with the thought that my life is going to completely change, that I will stand up in my full power. And what you have to know, this is only one right now. And in about next 2 months time, 3 months, I'm going to have another one. So what I would like to tell you is how you can prepare yourself for someone who needs to hear it. Now, the surgery day, I was excited. During the surgery, it was a funny thing because I had a anesthesia, but like epidural from the bottom down, and I was just sleeping. But I woke up during the surgery, so I literally heard how they were inserting the metal in my joints, and I just told them, like, please put me down to sleep, like at least 3 times. How it was over there is you finish your surgery, 24 hours you literally lying down. After 4 hours my anesthesia worn off, so I could literally move my legs a little bit. My first step, I took it the next day, and obviously, and the good thing is I had some experience with the crutches, so it was quite easy for me to actually like make the first steps. It was so exciting, and when I could stand up fully on my leg, not feeling pain, and seeing that I can actually straighten it, I cried like a baby, because this is something that I couldn't do for a very long time. Like talking about like 10 years or something. My first steps, I kind of overdid it, and then the next day I had to lie down. So just try not to overdo it. And the most important thing is, like, first week, just lie down really and just walk a little bit. What happened next is I was in this hospital for a little observation, a little bit longer. And the great thing is that you have all this like a physiotherapy which is available to you, so they're showing you exercises, what you can do, what you can't do, and that was great. So they really take care of you in that particular hospital, which I really appreciated. The first week of recovery, you pretty much not doing anything, and I just did like some walks every hour or so. I wasn't taking things day by day, I was taking things week by week, and what I've noticed, the improvement, it was tremendous improvement, and my recovery was actually much faster. But what you have to understand, I was preparing myself to this surgery, not only with my mindset, but I was exercising like profusely. Before the surgery, I was exercising quite a lot just to strengthen my muscle. That's something what they don't tell you. I would recommend you literally have a visit with someone, with a physiotherapist, maybe PT, if they kind of aware of it, that you have to rebuild or make your muscles as strong as possibly you can, especially the glutes. So that was my first week when I was still on crutches. I've ditched the crutches after 1 week, and this is when I've decided that, okay, it's time for physiotherapy, because I felt stronger. And walking to the physiotherapy, that was actually really funny, because he goes to me like, where are your crutches? I said, yeah, at home. And we did a video, you can have a look. That was my first week walking on my 2 feet, which is amazing. It's still kind of, you can see that I'm still kind of limping, but yes, it's great. And then what happened, 3rd week, I still had my physiotherapy. I was still basically in a full-on recovery. I didn't want to focus on anything because that kind of weighted on me, on my mindset and so on. 4th week in, I was able to really walk much better. That my friend came around, we went to the park, and I had to have a breaks every 10-15 minutes. So just don't worry about it, and everything is just gonna be better. On the week 5, this is where I got back to the country where I live, and I just had a couple days to kind of settle in and so on before I actually start my physical work. And I jumped into the pool. And I'll tell you one thing right now, this is my biggest advice to anyone who have any serious surgery regarding with your limbs or movement or coordination balance. Swimming is absolutely the best form of bringing yourself back to life. It gave me a totally different life right now that I am in. And this is only the beginning. Yes, I do feel a little bit different. I could consider myself a little bit different right now that, you know, I'm special. I've got artificial hip, but the legs, they are more flexible. And I didn't know how much pain I used to cope with until I don't. I can still feel that there is some kind of discomfort, and it kind of hurts at some point, but the most important thing is that you have to rebuild the muscles around it, because if you don't, it can pop out from the socket because your muscles aren't strong, because your ligaments and tendons, they not rebuild. So the biggest takeout from this is definitely to rebuild the muscles and the tendons, something that they don't really tell you about. They just give you a very simple form of exercise, but if you do a little bit of digging, you will actually find that you can help yourself more with a professional help also. Ask questions. And I would love to hear from you if you're going through some kind of mental struggle, that you're kind of in the limbo, and whether you're wondering what to do. And it doesn't have to be just like a hip replacement. Any surgery, I would love to hear from you. And the biggest takeout from all this is that I am not in pain. I'm not in pain anymore, but you have still like a physical pain, which is in your head. And I've caught myself a couple times saying that, okay, this is not your joint that hurts. It's just the mental effect on this. So just observe whether this is your actual muscles that they hurt around the artificial joint, or where is the pain. Try to locate it and name it. And 100%, I've gained so much flexibility that I literally want to almost cry, because I forgot that you got this movement. You can do it. Like simple tasks like cross legs, I couldn't do it. Something I'm gonna work on. This is only when I'm gonna have my 2nd one done. But the biggest aim for me is to go back to horse riding. And this is probably why I've decided to do it finally on the first place. So good luck.